Hello and welcome to this Studio Brutal video. Here I'm just going to show you how I make this dub techno track, which you can hear in the background. Yeah, it's really simple. It's made up of 5 channels only, 2 chords, a kick and bass and hats. It's actually 4 ingredients really, because the kick and the bass are the same sample. The sub bass hasn't come in yet, you'll hear it in a second. So yeah, that is the full loop. I'm going to talk you through how I made it. Before I start though, there's some free dub techno racks to download. You can get them in the description below. And there's a discount as well. We've got a paid pack, dub techno pack on the Shopify. There's a link to that with a big discount code as well. So yeah, check those out. And yeah, I'll get on with the video. So yeah, step 1 is what you want for something like this is I think for dub techno you want a filtered down kick. Let me solo it. So you can filter it down quite a bit. Also as well, I use sampler. This is just a 909 kick that comes with Ableton. I think it's called the 909 flavor kit, or you can get it with the Drum Essentials. And there's 2 different sort of distortion, saturation, drive features of sampler, and I've driven the kick with those as well. The shaper here. Not like loads, but so I'm cutting the top end off and I'm bringing it down. I'm making it just a bit filtered down, but a bit more driven. A lot of dub techno stuff obviously is filtered. That's a big part of the sound, but also driving it hard into a mixer, so it's a bit overly saturated. And I'm trying to do something like that basically. Then it's just a really simple 4 to the floor MIDI. I don't think I need to show you the MIDI. It is just that. Change the colour so you can see it. So yeah, that's the MIDI. Yeah, and then what I've done is I've copied to get the bass. I hope you can hear that. You might need good headphones. It's really low sub bass. So yeah, you can see the MIDI here that I've drawn, and basically that is just a straight up copy of the kick channel. I've just right clicked on it, copied it, and then I've changed a little bit of the processing. I took the shaper off. But yeah, what I've done here is it's basically the kick, but I want that punch taken off the front of it, so it's just the kick tail. If you move the kick like this, it's best to put snap on. It's that little button in the bottom of the sampler, and it will basically stop it clicking because it chooses a point at 0. Basically, if you cut the kick a sine wave at the wrong point, it can click, and that will take it off. That will automatically cut it at the right point so it doesn't click. So yeah, you take the front off the kick, so it's less punchy and just like that sine wave tail. And then I'm processing it with delay, so it wobbles a bit. You know, it's a bit, you're not supposed to delay or reverb sub bass, but that's what I'm doing here. I think it's a good dub techno technique, so it sort of wobbles about in the background. You don't want to go too far. And then I'm distorting it after the reverb and delay, because, well, like I said before, like you'd use a lot of mixer saturation on a dub techno track, and it brings out, it's good to use this drum bus on subs as well, because it brings out a little bit of drive, brings out the harmonics. You can hear it at the higher end, so you can hear it on a smaller system. If I take it off, you can hear, and that's what it sounds like without the filter. So you want to get a little bit of that space in, but yeah, cut a lot of the top end off, filter it down. And then the next one, I'm just putting in this really simple hat loop, which is an offbeat hat, and it's a 909 hat. And again, I've treated it on this. It's called hi-hat 909 open. It comes with it's one of the ones that comes in the Drum Essentials pack. I filtered it. If I unfilter it, it sounds like this. So I'm just cutting away the frequencies I don't want, and I'm distorting it a bit. You can also automate this if you want later on. For movement, right now I'm not going to do that. And then I'm going to treat it with erosion, which is quite nice. If I take erosion off, it just sounds very normal, like a normal hat. quite a nice sort of lo-fi effect. It's one that's good to automate as well. And then I'm giving it a bit of echo, and the echo is off. I like to take the echo units and give them a bit of error so they don't just hit so they sound like are off. You know, they're a bit more live, so they're not quantized. The delays are a little bit off and short and different on one side, so you get a wider sound. So the right is a bit different to the left. So yeah, if I put the drums together and the bass, and you can start to think of stuff to automate here as well, like to keep it moving. And you want to record these in with the mouse as well, so you get that live feel. Yeah, and then after that, I think I set up actually the sends. There's a couple of effects sends which I'll automate later, but they are just a reverb, and they're on the hats as well. So what I've got here is a reverb on effects send A with quite a large decay time, all the way wet, and some overdrive. So again, it's like that mix of saturation, and then I can use these sends to sort of create variation and builds later on. And then the other one, I've just got an echo unit, which is quite a long delay, with quite a lot of feedback. So yeah, then I'm going to send everything to that apart from the kick and the bass, and then so everything, even though they've all got individual effects, I've got like a global effect as well that I can automate as well in the sends. So yeah, then after that I'm setting up a chord, which is the most important part of this really, which is this chord. And in keeping with the theme of simplicity, I am just doing this one note, which I played at G on the start of the bar, and I could play a chord, but I've got this unit, the chord unit, to play the chord automatically for me. If you set it up like this, so it's 0, then +3 semitones and +7, it is just going to play a minor chord, which is what you want for dub techno. If I take it off, it's just the note, it's just one note. Now it's going to play a 3-finger chord, minor chord. And then yeah, I'm using analog. It's really simple but great for what I want. And I've detuned it slightly. If I detune it more, you get a much sort of thicker sound. And then I'm filtering it down. You want to filter everything down so you can hardly hear it, and then use the filter envelope to push the sound through the filter and make it tight. You want a really clippy, short envelope for dub techno. And you can automate that as well. So the decay is quite a good one to automate. So you can tweak so you can automate that later on. And then overdrive I'm automating the filter as well. You can see that here. And overdrive is quite a good one as well, because it's got this sort of EQ, so you can sweep this like a filter, which is quite a cool effect. Then there's erosion, which is that lo-fi effect that I used on the drums, which I used just a little bit. And then there's some echo here, which is like this one, which is a short delay. Again, it's got error on it, on different, a small error on each, on left and right. This is something I would automate later on as well, the feedback on this. Like that. And then yeah, then what I'm going to do is copy this and make another chord. So this is the same chord, I've just copied it and just changed the note to a bit later, basically, and shorter. And I pitched it down an octave. And it's really similar. I changed it to be a bit tighter on the envelope, and I think I changed the G-tune settings. But yeah, so it's basically the same. I want them to I want two chords that sort of speak to each other, that sort of bounce around. They're really minimal, you're hardly playing any MIDI, not lots of notes, and then they can sort of speak to each other, if you know what I mean. One can play off the other. And yeah, they're filtered down and shortly gated on the filter envelope, so later on I can lift it up and open the sound up like that. But yeah, so yeah, and then the whole thing sounds like that. I do have the whole thing sounds like that. There are 2 delays on this last one to give it loads of space. Some different ones on left and right, again with a bit of error, and then like just a standard delay. It's almost the default preset, I think. And then that again is also sent to the effects sends. So yeah, so that is it. That is the basic loop, and then everything else is going to be done on processing, that's like the last thing you want to do is automate these and sequence them out. I think I've used the effects sends on the hat to sort of before the bass comes in, to add reverb, and yeah, then I've done the same to the analogs. I'll show you the automation on that. Actually, on the analogs, what I've done is just cut it in like this, so it bursts occasionally the reverb or the echo, which is like something you might do if you had an actual mixer set up for dub mixing. Just tweaking, you just tweaking the effects ends. The best way to do it, I've just done it with the mouse quickly for this, but the best way is probably to record it on the mouse. So like, get as much resolution as possible, and so yeah, so you get a more live feel the more resolution you get. And then I've automated the sends, and I've automated the filter frequency as well, which is the filter frequency on analog. But there's loads of other things you could affect, especially this envelope. Like that. Yeah, I've recorded that in. So yeah, so you get lots of variation, and then pick the bit that's good and loop it out. So yeah, so that's how I would automate it, and then I'll show you the automation on the other one. There is basically, I've just sort of got the mouse and drawn in loads of random stuff that sounds quite, and deleted it if it doesn't sound good, and kept what works. Yeah, and you can build it on the filter and effects sends. Like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think the idea behind this is simplicity. You want to keep it simple, keep it short, keep it filtered, hardly any notes, but then use the processing and delays to really make the track come alive, and automate it and build it as the track goes on. Yeah, so I reckon that's about it. Yeah, have a look in the description. Like I said, there's a free rack. The rack that I've used in this for the main chord, there's a link to it in the description below, plus a discount for our paid, the big Dub Techno pack that we've got on sale. So yeah, take a look at them. And yeah, that's it from me. Good luck with your music making. Have a good day. Take care. Goodbye.